Hello, Bay Area. Welcome to the Real Estate Edge. You go to the go-to podcast for all the things real estate, finance, and wealth building strategies. I'm your host, Nagaraj Annaiah, a dedicated realtor serving the Bay Area. Today, we are diving into topics that top of for many in our community, the proposed 5% remittance tax. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nagaraj. Thanks for having us here.
Listeners, we are live on YouTube, live on Wally 92.3. Wherever you want, we are live. For you, YouTube, go to Nagaraj Annaiah's handle. And for Wally 92.3 listeners, if you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Wally 92, 877 Wally 92. Tony, welcome to the show.
Oh, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Friday night. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992, 877-265-5992. Tony, today I think so many things to discuss before going to real estate taxes, right? Like I would like to talk about this 5% remittance tax for the individuals who's transferring their money to India. What's all about that?
Oh man, they're trying to squeeze us for everything that we got, Nagaraj. So yeah, it's a draft right now, which is good, but it's not passed.
Uh-huh.
So that we do not want this to pass. But what's going on is they drafted language to say if you're sending money back to India
Uh-huh.
and you're on H-1B or green card, so if you're not a U.S. citizen, they're going to tax you 5% on that. So with how much money that's being spent each year, right, or sent back right now, it's going to equivalent to about $1.6 billion. So the reason why they're trying to do this is because all these tax cuts that they're trying to do, they have to supplement it. Otherwise, the federal deficit is going to go even further deep. So unfortunately, they're finding cheap, scummy ways to do this, which I don't like it. So that's the proposed language right now. The great update, though, today was there was 5 Republicans plus all the Democrats who stopped the bill from passing and advancing. So because
But
they
I think before discussing on the other things, right? But I think the 5%, whatever he said, it's just a 1 billion amount of expenses. What we are doing in, does the 1 billion makes difference to the US altogether?
not a ton. I mean, over 10 years, they're saying it's going to be $3.2 trillion of the extra deficit. So it's not a ton, I would say, but I mean, over 10 years, it's 10 billion. So helps a little bit, but they're trying to squeeze anywhere where they can find more money at. So they're desperate to find a way to fund all of these tax cuts. So they're trying to get creative, my friend.
Yeah. Listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and today I'm joined by Tony. If you want to build your wealth, this is the show you should never miss out. You can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992. If you're watching on YouTube, don't worry about that. You can leave a comments there also so that we can answer any of your questions on the Bay Area real estate, tax savings, and other stuff. Tony, now the next thing is the proposed tax bills, what we were discussing in, or new things, what we are going to see. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah, there's a ton going on here. So yeah, actually I kind of get a lot of good notes for us here. Let me show you over, for the everyone that's be watching on YouTube here,
Uh-huh.
kind of the one big beautiful bill and what's going to be happening in that.
Uh-huh.
And the big part for all of the real estate investors, home buyers that's listening in right now, the big part is the state and local tax cap. So right now, if you buy a home and you have state income taxes, they're going to cap you at $10,000, which is
Uh-huh.
not really good. Any home here, your property tax is way over $10,000.
Correct.
You work to fund it, your
Uh-huh.
income taxes are way over $10,000, your state and local income taxes. So
Uh-huh.
this would be very good
Uh-huh.
if it passes. But right now they're fighting about it. Like they want to put it to $30,000 instead of 10. So which would
This
be
is for the
good.
property taxes.
Property taxes and income taxes, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this, and they're saying they'll give you 30,000 instead of 10,000, but that's only if you're married file joint
Uh-huh.
making up to $400,000, which is almost an oxymoron in my opinion, because
Uh-huh.
how can you buy that much house if you don't make as much income in the Bay Area here? So, but this is good. An extra $20,000 in deductions is easily an extra $5,000 back in your pocket.
Yeah.
So
I
this
think a lot
one,
of people are
fingers crossed that it passes here.
yeah. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are already opening up on the mouth on the real estate, how it's going to change this much savings also, right?
Yeah, it's going to change big. So it's a good time to buy a home. Right? Once this passes, the state and local tax cap, it's going to save you, at least $5,000 if you're married joint, buying a home, making $400,000 or less. So that's the draft language. So everything that we're talking about tonight is all draft language. They're
Uh-huh.
fighting back and forth, but it's cool. This is the good part. It's kind of like a barter. First, you shoot out your negotiation, then it comes back, and they're going to negotiate back again. So they're going to find something in the middle or just let it pass completely. So that's going to be really good.
Correct. It's going to be wonderful, especially this cap, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
what about the next one? Very
Yeah,
important.
yeah. So no tax on tips. This is going to be really good if you're in the service-based industry or you're getting taxed, you're getting money through tips. So a
Mhm.
lot of the service-based workers, that's going to be good. It was quite funny. I was just scrolling through TikToks today, and
Uh-huh.
there was one TikTok going about how someone made, $200,000 in tip income last year. So
Uh-huh.
all of that would be income tax free. And say at 25%, $200,000, we're talking that's a good chunk of money there for
So
sure.
basically, just to say, it's like, for example, somebody has earned 200K, so they no need to pay any taxes.
No taxes on the tips, only on the base salary. So you might want to re-talk to your employer how you can get
Yeah,
compensated through tips.
yeah, yeah. I think Anjali might be listening on that, on the tips perspective, right? The
Yeah.
third one, yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yeah. No, and then the next part is no tax on overtime too. So these are three big things of the current president's agenda that they had. And if
mhm.
there's no tax on overtime, you may
Wow.
want to restructure how your compensation is set up, right? So
Correct,
I
correct.
think there's going to be a small opportunity for good loophole
Mhm.
if this passes, and this is a really good time, talk to your CPA, talk to us. More than happy to see how we can help out of like how you can structure your income or give you ideas to talk back to your employer to save money on taxes. So a lot of structuring is going to be great in order to take advantage of these new tax laws.
And one more thing is like, I think since you're talking about the restructuring, if somebody is running the payroll for themselves, I think for them also it's a better way to restructure also, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the beauty of being self-employed is
Yeah.
that you structure your more of your income to go through tips, tax, not on overtime, like no tax on those too. At the
Yeah.
same time, too, same thing with structuring. Even you have a business, you're not, operating as an S corporation, you're making over $50,000. That could be a huge opportunity there. So
Mhm.
even getting your legal entities, your structure right, your estate planning, how your houses are held through your LLCs, that's massive. Structuring is always one big tax concept, and if you haven't explored it before, you certainly should.
Yeah, yeah. Listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Tony from the CPA Dude. If you have any questions on the things what we are discussing in, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-599. To anything on the real estate or anything on the taxes or anything on the wealth related building, do give us a call. Yeah. So what's the fourth one?
Yeah, the fourth one, they're auto loans, so they will let you write off your interest on your auto loans. So they're trying to encourage more people to buy cars. U.S. cars is the primary target. So a lot of tax laws always come from tax policy and what they're trying to encourage. So they want to have you buy cars. You'll get right off the interest on that. And this has not been around for 40 years. This was gone in 1986. That was when the last time you were able to write this off. So
Uh-huh.
they're bringing this back. So you may want to, buy that car. It's going to be a little bit cheaper if you're able to write off that interest. So that's very exciting. And they're also at the same time too trying to stimulate the government a little bit more
Okay.
to encourage more lending.
So I think this is very good for the even for the businesses also, right? Like so basically if somebody buys a business related auto related, then they can write off so many things.
Yeah, yeah, your business, you having a car, especially using Section 179, big, heavy cars over 6,000 pounds, that's really tax beneficial. And then at the same time, too, even if you don't buy 6,000 pounds, you're a business owner, real estate investor,
Huh?
you can still depreciate the car and get a big tax benefit, which would be really big. And
Yeah, like
then the big part,
Buy a Range Rover and pay off complete, no need to pay taxes for like you reduce your overall income by 200K.
there you go. Yeah, Range Rover, that's the go-to. I bought a Model X and just, hey, write it off, save some money on taxes at the same time and save the environment a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah. So you can just write off your complete Model X if you have a business.
Yeah, so it's good. This is where taking the tax code really benefits you. And then even if you don't put that much down, for example, you have a $200,000 car, like the G-Wagon Range Rover, you only put 10% down, that's 20,000. But then if you can save on $200,000 Section 179, you're going to easily almost save, $80,000 in taxes, even though you put $20,000 out, right? So you're up $60,000 by arbitraging the tax code correctly.
I think, Tony, let's revisit on this. A lot of people might be a new first time they're listening in, right? Like, so if, for example, if you're running in a business and they bought a 200K car and they
Yeah.
made 200K, let's assume they made a 200K income in that year, right? So they can write off completely 200K and they pay zero taxes just
Yeah.
for.
Using code section 179 plus bonus depreciation, that's how it goes. That's why you see a lot of people when they have a good year and you do need the vehicle, it's a great time to buy it right at the year end.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the way to you build your wealth, right? Be thoughtful and talk to the experts. That experts can make a difference in building your wealth.
Yeah.
So the next one is what the next one. It looks like very interesting in the next one.
Yeah. So they're boosting the standard deduction. So when you're doing your taxes, you either get to take the standard deduction or the itemized deduction. The standard deduction, they're going to increase it to 32K from 30K. So they're going to give you an extra $2,000 for the standard deduction. So that's just going to help overall reduce your tax liability because they're giving you such a big bonus now. Of course, if you itemize your deductions and it's past $32,000, itemizing your deductions could be better. Itemizing deductions, what that means is your state and local taxes, that 10,000 plus all the mortgage interest. So when you buy a home, that's one of the tax benefits of buying a home is you get to write off the home mortgage interest. And then also any charitable donations that you make. If that's more than $32,000 and you're married joint, filing joint, you're going to be able to take a bigger advantage than that. So really, as you say, Nagaraj, building wealth by purchasing real estate, having another home, writing off the mortgage interest, and being tax beneficial and tax optimized, it's really how you can use what you're doing today with the tax code to unlock more wealth.
I think, Tony, I think this is where the lot of listeners make a mistakes, or a lot of home buyers or the investors make a mistake. They think you're paying a negative towards your mortgages. That's going to be not a good for you. But I think that is where the way you think, it makes a difference, right? Like that's what a lot of people I educate when they're buying a real estate, and when they are already have the first property and they're going to a second property, right? I tell them always, they just look for short-term rental loophole, the short-term rental loophole. Talk to you so that you can guide them how to use the short-term rental loophole.
Yeah. Anyone that's listening in, if you're W-2, you're not tax optimized, the short-term rental loophole is one of the best tax strategies you can do to build wealth and save taxes. It's as a double unicorn in my book. You don't see that many good strategies for W-2 workers. And then also we do have, if you want more information, we can, send me a DM on Instagram, radio. And then I'll send you over the guide on STR loophole. This one has saved our clients so much in taxes. Yeah, easily 5 figures every year.
Yeah, a lot of my clients, I think you help few directors also working in a bigger companies, IT companies who works in IT VP levels. They're all getting benefited from this. Whoever is making a 400K, 500K per year, all of them are getting benefited on this. They just need to set up an appointment with me on the real estate for all the tax related, set up an appointment with you.
Yeah, tag team duo, man. We're the superpower, grow wealth, save money on taxes, reinvest it, or take a super nice vacation, right?
Yeah, that's true. But they need to be like, as keep on saying, that should be talk to the right expert. That's where they can make a difference on it.
Yeah, exactly. Until you come across the right people, you're just gonna be lost in the tax code, not buying and using your money to build more wealth, and you're always gonna be stuck in the rat race. So really invest in real estate, even if you just do one house every single year for the next 10 years as you're making these nice jobs, at the director level. And then once you retire, you're gonna have a nice portfolio. But the banks are gonna love you right now because you have a nice W-2. But once you're out, it's not going to be as easy. So really build it now. And, California real estate, it's only going up, right? Like it doesn't go down. So you're going to look back in 2 years, like, oh, I wish I did that. Like, don't let the interest rates scare you. If
Yeah.
you have a good strategist that can find you the right property, it's going to work out no matter what. It's just, are they going to work hard enough for you or not, right? Not everyone's a Nagaraj going to work so hard and find you the best property.
No, I think, see, Tony, I think if somebody is listening to this show, right, they should plan to buy something, the investment properties every 3 years, every 2 years, something.
Yeah.
You know, buy real estate, build the wealth, basically do this rental loopholes, sell it off, or put it in your pocket and move to something else.
Yeah. 1031 exchanges. That's the best. Yeah.
That's the way to build for you. But you should plan such that every 3 years, every 2 years. A lot of people, like I was speaking to one of the buyer who bought a second property for himself, but he bought a fixer-upper home, and he was completely scared. I paid too high. Dude, no, think properly or be thoughtful how you do it. It's fine you bought it, but you can still do a tax write-off on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not all about just what the buy price is. There's all the tax benefits
Yeah.
towards it, which reduces the overall gain that you're expected, right? You can add almost a 2% extra ROI, cash on cash return, if you're using the real estate in a tax efficient manner, though. So that's one thing I see people miss in their underwriting is the potential tax benefits, especially if you're short-term rental loophole.
Yeah.
Or if there's someone that's, stay at home and the other person is working W-2, unlocking it with real estate professional status. That's even a bigger tax strategy.
I love that status, especially like one W-2 and one not on W-2 in the family. I really loving that options, because
Oh,
that's where you can save a lot.
yep. That's the best. Yeah. I always say it's the unicorn. It's the power couple move is the
Yeah.
one W-2, the high business income earner, but then you got the one stay-at-home person taking care of the kids, taking care of the real estate, being the superhero at home too.
I think because especially a lot of them are on H1B and H4 EADs, right? This H4 EADs is the beauty, really, I like it. But how do you use it? That really matters in. So listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Tony from the CPA Dude, and we're talking about how to build your wealth and especially using your real estate as your vehicle. You can give us a call. We are talking about the new proposed tax changes, which is going on. So if you have any questions, do give us a call and share it. So what are the other things, Tony? Let's quickly talk about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I got one quick question on my TikTok live here. So I got Nawaz USA says, what's the best tax write-off of LLC?
Mhm.
The best tax write-offs, this is why having a business is so great, is just overall anything that you have that's ordinary and necessary for your business, you can write it off. So if you meet those two prongs and you can stare at your grandma's face and shoot her straight that you can write it off, you can write it off. So and then the other thing is like that's why small businesses is encouraged. You don't need an LLC, by the way. You can just be a sole
Yeah, yeah.
proprietor and still write it off.
I think LLC is part. I think let's talk about that next time. A lot of people have that misconception. Everything I need to put it on LLC in the beginning itself.
Yeah.
No, it is not
Mhm.
required right now. For myself, all my properties I still own as husband and wife. I have not
Yeah.
put it into LLC because I want to
Yeah.
do it slowly. Because I
Yeah.
know the problem with owning a lot of LLCs every year, you need to be paying that $800.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, California will, no matter what, even you do nothing with the LLC, you still have to pay the $800. So don't jump the gun so fast if you don't need an LLC until you make $50,000 or you have equity in that property that you can't lose.
Yeah, I think because I made a couple of mistakes, especially on S corp and other things. Then I realized, really, do I need an LLC for the small investments? Until
Yeah.
it starts making a big money out of it, be thoughtful on it. Don't jump on it. Talk to the experts. They will help you out on how to build your wealth and how to do it right way.
Yeah.
Because people, what they think, right? I would like to save $1,000, $2,000. To avoid that, let me go quickly find something else alternative. Do it yourself, kid, or go to ask somebody else, right? Which might not be right fit for them.
Yeah. You have to find the right person that's going to really truly help you and fit your case too.
Now, somebody who works for you, and so that you can build your wealth and give you the right tips.
Hmm.
So, what are the
Yeah.
other changes we have proposed in the tax bills, Tony? Let's quickly
Oh,
talk about.
yeah. Oh, for sure. The other one is anyone who has a kid. So if you have a kid, they're trying to give you an extra $500 for the child tax credit. So right now you get $2,000 each year for having a child.
Okay.
So they're trying to make that 2,500 now instead of $2,000. So $500, and it's a tax credit. Tax credits are good because they're 1-to-1, unlike a tax deduction is 1 towards your effective tax rate. So yeah, more kids, I guess an extra $500, some more food, some more diapers that you can buy.
Yeah. So listeners, you're listening on that. Any questions, do give us a call. We are live on Bolly 92.3 on YouTube also. Myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, talking to Tony from the CPA dude. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992. We have a lot of questions coming in from the TikTok and YouTube live also. So what are the other things, Tony?
Oh yeah. The other ones, so they're like we said, right? They were trying to do the 5% tax on any money sent over to India.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find money everywhere to fund this tax bill because it's going to create a deficit. So the other area, and this is super controversial, depending on what side of the camp you are, but for Medicaid and food stamps, they are trying to put in a work requirement. So before you do not have to work at all and you can get Medicaid and food stamps. Now they're trying to say, hey, in order to qualify, you're going to have to work 80 hours a month. So they're trying to, hit those people while they're down because it's lower income people that have Medicaid and food stamps. So they're trying to take that away, and that's going to affect millions of people if that does pass. So the reason why is this, they just need to find money somewhere to fund this because they're putting a lot of money into other silly places.
I think let's talk about that other time on that, about that things. Yeah. What are the other things, Tony?
Yeah. The big one that I like here is that's going to be great for all real estate investors is 100% bonus depreciation. And for anyone that does not know what bonus depreciation is, this is when you buy a house and you're able to take a significant chunk of the benefit right away in the first year. Normally, you have to wait 27 and a half years on a single family home to get a little bit of depreciation every year. Now, instead of being 40% that you can take the first year, they're going to let you do 100% right away. So this is actually like enormous. And why the short-term rental loophole is going to be super important is because you can just save so much. So on $1 million home, instead of getting maybe $120,000 of write-off, you can get $300,000 on a write-off now. And if you're making $400,000 W-2, $300,000, your taxable income is only 100. You're getting 75% of the taxes that you paid in already as a refund.
If you write off, depending on which category you are in, so you're easily saving 100K.
Yeah, you're gonna save. You're only taxed on just that 100K on this example here. So you're barely taxed on anything, and you're just gonna get a fat refund. That refund is gonna go back. You can buy another house the next year and do the short-term rental again. This is how you build wealth. It just compounds, it snowballs.
Yeah, I think that's where, guys, if you have any questions, do set up a free consultation with the Tony. It's like if somebody wants to reach out to you, Tony, like what's the best way to contact you, and how can they set up an appointment with you, Tony?
Oh yeah. The best way that really contact us, hit our website up, thecpadude.com. Go to Instagram, follow us there, the CPA Dude. DM me radio tonight. We'll have a special bonus offer for any listeners for that short-term rental loophole to save a ton. I just got one message here. What's the best tax strategies for high earners? So that everyone listening on the show right now, high earners, everyone's in the Bay Area right now. So yeah.
If they have not heard about it, this show, just ask them to go to the YouTube live and revisit all these things or listen again, because a lot of people might be new to this, right? And they have so many questions after that also. That's why set up an appointment with you, easy to so that you can answer them. And listeners, I have an open house this Saturday, Sunday, and if you're very interested in 3-bed 2-bath listing in South Winchester Boulevard, it's 801 South Winchester Boulevard. It's a great starter home. If somebody is looking for a bonus depreciation, this house might be a really great fit, especially being in a condo. Do go to nagarajhomes.com and click on a WhatsApp icon to register with me or call me. Thank you so much, Tony, and have a wonderful evening out there. Thank you so much for all the listeners out there too.
All right. Thank you so much, Nagaraj.
Thank you.
Okay.
Real with you. You go.